life, mental illnesses, testicles, apples, love,
politics,
global hunger,
video games,
premature ejaculation.
Words of wisdom.
Hello friends, welcome to another episode of I Play Games and Film It. Welcome to week 6, I believe we're on, of Words of Wisdom. It's been a long few weeks, it's good stuff, we're still going strong. However, I'm going to have to wag my finger. I'm going to wag it so hard here, I'm wagging, I don't know if you can hear my finger wafting against the microphone, how hard I'm wagging the finger here. It's not been many questions this week, and I'm disappointed because I thought you were a far more curious lot than that. Either that's the answers I'm giving you are subpar, and the material is subpar. So maybe I just need to work on that. But either way, I still have questions come through, which is great. So thank you to those who've asked questions this week. So without further ado, let's kick off with question 1 from Neil T, who asks, well, he says here, I read today that if technology carries on at the rate it does, there's a strong likelihood that someone alive today will live to 1,000. Thoughts? So someone could live to 1,000, someone alive today. All right, I see. So someone alive today will continue living, or could continue living, on to the ripe old age of 1,000 years old. Lucky guy or gal, whoever. It's exciting in a way. I'm excited about it in a fashion, but at the same time I'm not, because I'm like, well, it's something I'd want to witness, it's something I'd want to experience myself, meaning I'd probably either have to be the person who lives to 1,000, which I don't want to be. I don't want to know what that feels like, because it looks like kind of the age of 90 looks pretty hard going. So I'd have to live that long to kind of see what that feels like. And also, I also wonder, like, would you want to be alive that long? I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be alive that long. I have a mantra of life, really, and it runs very, very close to the theme of death. I know it's quite morbid, but it's basically the idea that if we weren't to die, I don't think we'd be as productive as we are. I don't think we'd have aspirations or goals or dreams or anything like that, because time wouldn't be a factor. Time, or the matter of death plays a huge part in how we choose to work out our life. I mean, if you think about it, we have this scale that we're supposed to all work to. By the age of this time, you're supposed to be in a career. By the age of this time, you're supposed to have kids. And by the age of this time, you're supposed to be settled down. And then there's the whole, by this age, you have a midlife crisis and so on. And it revolves around, pretty much when we die. And there's a big thing about when we die, not existing anymore, not being around anymore, and so on. So to live to 1,000, I actually I don't see that being any kind of plus myself. I don't really see that as being a good thing, basically, because what I think it would do is encourage a lower productivity rate, and I think it would actually make us lazier. Not to say that that's a horrible thing, really, but I just think in terms of the way that we work now and the way that we do things now, I don't think that's such a great thing. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that matter there. That's how I feel about it. Living to 1,000, meh, not great. All right, I hope that answers your question. I mean, obviously, drop a comment down below if you have your own thoughts on the matter, if it excites you in any way. But thanks very much for the question, Neil T. Hopefully I'll see you again next week. Thank you. The next question comes in from Patrick A, who asks, whatever happened to your polka dot suit? And what's great is someone else actually then posted after that wants proof and evidence of the polka dot suit that Patrick claims I had. I don't have a polka dot suit, and the reason is because I wore it out one night for New Year's, and unfortunately I ended up in somewhat of a rather varied club that offered it kind of accepted open doors to a very varied group of people, and it basically, long story short, I ended up falling asleep in the toilet wearing the suit, and I woke up naked. The suit was gone and I never saw it again, which I'm really upset about. However, my arse really did hurt, so I'm a little concerned about what actually happened that night. I don't really know, but yeah, the suit's gone and I'm sad about it, but maybe I'll buy another one and see what happens. I'll make it red this time. That'll be a good idea. But that's what happened to the suit. Thanks very much for asking the question, Patrick. And to Ross G, who asked about the suit, Yeah, sorry, I didn't have any pictures either. They got lost. The camera was inside the suit, and the suit got robbed, as did, I'm pretty sure, my anal virginity. Wonderful. So, next question comes in from Gemma G, who asks simply, do you like the walls? I like the walls. Next question, Sean McDonough asks, what's a tallywhacker? You know what, actually, I'm pretty sure a tallywhacker, my experience of my generation of what a tallywhacker is pretty much your dong. It's your hang down, it's your excess flesh, it's your willy, it's your ding dong. However, I'm pretty sure it's a word that came from somewhere else. I have a feeling tallywhacker is actually a thing. For some reason, it's something to do with fishing in my head. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure a tallywhacker is actually a genuine item that isn't a willy. I'm going to figure that out. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Should I figure it out? I can figure it out. Hang on a minute. So I've done the research, and a tallywhacker is just a penis. That's it. It's got nothing to do with fishing whatsoever. So I don't know where I got that from. Maybe I was thinking that I would use my tallywhacker to fish for vagina. Wonderful. Okay, so that's what that's a tallywhacker. It's just a cock. Awesome. So there we go. Lessons learned for everyone. Right, so on to another series of questions that James B has returned once again for another week to ask. Thank you, James, for continually coming back. This is the kind of thing I like. I like this, to come back with more questions that make me think and make me kind of struggle to play games while I'm trying to think of the answer and stuff. It's really difficult. It's so hard to do this all at the same time. Really difficult. But yeah, so sorry. James B asks, if you could be a superhero for a day, which one would you be? Or who would you be? So I'm going to take that as I can't make up my own. I have to think of one that already exists, and I pretty much have gone with Spider-Man, only because of the simple fact that the girls. I think the girl is meant to be a redhead, and that just sold it for me. I mean, there's nothing really particularly great about Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool, but it's just the girl in it is the hottest one, so I'll go with that. That's basically it. Sorry, there's nothing grand in that whatsoever. Sorry to disappoint, but that's what I'm going with. And then the next question he asked, which is kind of it all is one big question in a group. So, what are the boundaries of heroism? Does it boil down to a simple compliment to lighten someone's day, or does an act of heroism require greater effort? Now, in this regard, I would say that being a hero takes very little. Honestly, because I can immediately think of examples wherein you can literally save someone's life by doing the tiniest little thing, be it, pay them a compliment, indeed, like make them feel good, say something nice to them, just kind of make them feel like there's more value to themselves than they actually hold. And obviously it can mean more from a stranger, because a stranger knows less of you and is less inclined to say something nice about you. So anyone can be a hero at any point. And I think obviously, I mean, being a true hero, if you want to see it in terms of the grand scheme of things, like saving many lives and so on. Yeah, I mean, it requires a lot of effort, but on a day-to-day basis, I think we can all be heroes at some point. I think this is why I try to hold the simple idea of just being nice and being a good person constantly, regardless of anything of faith or understanding or knowledge. Just be good. That's basically it. Because actually, you can be more of a hero simply by being a good person on a day-to-day basis than working hard to solve global warming or something. I mean, obviously that's still a grand scheme of heroes who are able to do that. Definitely, it takes a great hero to climb into a burning building to save someone's life. But on a day-to-day basis, where you see people who are depressed, but you see people who maybe don't even have a friend or someone to talk to or someone to go to, just that brief moment of being able to brighten up someone's day could brighten up their whole week. It could brighten up their month, their year. It could just basically change them and give them that little glimpse of hope that it doesn't take much. In fact, I watched a video today. I was on Reddit. I'll run you through this video. Actually, I watched a video today. It was on a bus, and this guy was being really verbally abusive to this elderly woman as well, which obviously kind of makes the whole scene that much more shocking and horrific. And first up, the husband of the elderly woman stood up to this younger guy who was much bigger than him, and clearly he didn't have a chance. But the fact that he stood up obviously makes him a hero straight away, because he's kind of like, you know, he's protecting his wife, who he loves, which is perfectly natural, and you could say the right thing to do. That's a slightly stupid thing to do, but the right thing to do nonetheless. And the kind of, some punches start throwing, and then suddenly this guy comes out of nowhere and just pushes this guy to one side. And I mean, let's be honest, he gets jumped. There's a couple of guys who jump on this bully, and the whole thing is diffused. But there's multiple heroes in that whole scene, just because, first of all, the husband comes to his wife's rescue by stepping in and saying, you know, don't point your aggression at her. She hasn't done anything wrong. You know, point it at me if anyone. And then, of course, there's the hero who jumps in to protect the gentleman who clearly wasn't going to be able to protect himself against this larger man. And, you know, if you look at the grand scheme of, let's say, world scale war or famine or hunger, the people who work in charities, the people who go out for aid and things like that, it's a tiny, minuscule moment in the grand scheme of things, but that guy was a hero that day. All he had to do was step in and just, you know, diffuse or redirect the aggression that could have otherwise been towards a helpless and defenseless lady. And again, I mean, you could take it even from a less aggressive point. Let's say someone's having a really, really bad day. And I've actually had it with me. I mean, I've had some days where I've just really, really not felt great at all. Really not great at all. And all it's taken is for someone just to say, like, you look nice today, or, you know, tell me a joke, or just basically even share a joke with me, or share a laugh with me. And even though it sounds really fickle, that's as little as it takes for me to be brought back to the state that I want to be in, the happy state, the comfortable state, the state where I'm like, you know, yeah, actually, I'm okay, I don't know why I'm being such a pathetic loser. And that person's a hero to me as well, because it's like, well, I could have been miserable all day, and God only knows, like, my day could have gotten worse. But instead of getting worse, it got better because this person simply decided to share a joke or a smile or whatever. That's all it took. And that person could be seen as a hero. I think, as I might have said earlier, it's really a case of the after effect of the event. Because would you be considered a hero if you did save someone's life but they didn't value their life anyway? Were you considered a hero? Yeah. But are you considered a hero if someone really didn't value their life, but you didn't actually do much to protect it? If that makes sense. So, yeah. It's I think it's all a matter of the outer values of variables, of the heroism and so on and so forth. I hope that answers your question. I feel like I've kind of talked for quite a while, so I hope that does answer your question and explains the scenario well enough. But yes, that was it. The next part is it worth it to be a hero, to help others in unfathomable ways but suffer personal consequences? That I can't answer because I wouldn't know. At this stage, I would say no, personally, but that's just me. It depends on the kind of person you are. I think it takes, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it myself. I don't think I could make that much of a sacrifice, I'm afraid. I'm not a hero. It's just, certainly not in that regard anyway, not in the grand scheme of things. I couldn't do that. I prefer to work on the smaller scales where personal sacrifice is minimal, perhaps even the after effect is minimal, but maybe it's grand. You know, I offer my heart out to those people who are actually able to sacrifice a lot for themselves, for other people. There are scenarios where I personally just think it's retarded. I think it's just stupid, but that's just my personal opinion. That's just how I think of the matter. But it does definitely take some strength to do that, definitely. So the next question, also from James B, which I actually quite like, is why is change feared, and why do we not embrace new ideas with open arms without prejudice? It's not necessarily simple per se, but at the same time it is, and it works on so many levels. Because I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and it's something that I had to kind of try and conclude myself. It was the simple case of we like routine. We love routine, and it's definitely a part of our whole being. So the whole play in life, for example, there's the idea of playing safe or doing something exciting, which are actually the two, not even joking, those are the two options, like the two generic options of choices in life. Playing safe, doing the job and career and wife and kids and so on, or doing something exciting, which could be, you know, something personal, individual to you. I prefer the exciting route myself. I think playing safe is playing safe, isn't it? Meh. But the reason playing safe is popular as well is because it's secure, it's familiar, we understand it, we know it, it's the well-trodden path, we get it, and we understand it. So there's very little there for us to have to learn. And it's the idea of unknown grounds it's a matter of fear because we don't understand it. Because in order for us to really get it, we have to know it, we have to know how to approach it, how to appreciate it, how to operate with it. But if we don't, there's the sense of unpredictability, and with unpredictability comes danger and risk. With danger and risk comes loss or harm or something like that. Change is feared because it's unknown, and we don't like unknown. We don't like sudden things to be messed with because we're used to something. I guess let's say I try to walk in high heels, and I'm not going to because I couldn't. There's no high heels. My excuse is there's no high heels in the area that I could fit my shoes in. I wouldn't be able to do it because the only thing I'd have in my head is not only that I don't know how to walk anymore in high heels anyway. Not anymore. I never knew how to walk anyway. But I wouldn't know how to walk in high heels. But also there's this growing fear in my head that I'm going to buckle my ankle, break my ankle and sprain it, and I'll be fucked and I won't be able to walk. That's just a fear in my head because I don't understand how to walk in high heels. And it's a simple matter. It's still walking. It's still, you know, one step, but suddenly it's walking with heels on. And that completely messes with my head, even though it's still walking, essentially. It's still, you know, left foot, right foot. And so I can't seem to get past that mindset of that's how it is. And it's just that. It's just that. We don't understand change. As long as, I think if change was explained in full and we minimalised the dark areas of what was to change, then it'd be fine. I think this is the reason people are still racist today, the reason that people still have prejudice today, to be honest, because there's still this lacking understanding of differences. And because maybe we don't want to understand it because we have this picture, like, let's say, I'm going to go right into the deep end of this one. Let's say with people's hatred of Muslims or religion, for example. For a lot of people to show disdain towards this thing, I think it does take for them first to truly understand why people choose religion or why people are Muslim, for example, or perhaps what's going on in the Muslim community, or maybe just in crazy people's minds that makes them extremist anything, and it brings people to fear, because then what they do is they go, right, I don't really understand Islam or Muslims myself, but what I do know is that there are terrorists out there who are Muslim. Therefore, I'm going to put them in the same category, and that means that all Muslims now are terrorists, and I don't like them, and they're horrible people. And that's the thought process they'll go through, because that's going to be the shortest matter for them to explain to themselves that scenario. Unfortunately, what's wrong with that is it's a very one or maybe even two-dimensional way of seeing it. And it's their own way of seeing it. So actually it's very one-dimensional. First, they need to maybe sit down with real members of the community, or maybe someone who can explain it to them in a way that will make them understand, and then they can build a more three-dimensional picture of it in their head. Maybe they won't be so scared of it because they understand it better, but that doesn't mean they have to like it. It just means they won't be fearful of it. Because, again, the fear comes from not knowing. And its unpredictable nature. So that's just an example. I have to exaggerate that is just an example, and it comes in many forms. I still think today that the people who are racist against any race, or even prejudice against women, I just think they don't want to understand another race or another gender, and are happy just to sit in their own sense of going, yeah, I completely get it. It's just the fact that they're beneath me, and that's all I need to understand about it, because I'm happy with that. and it's sad. I think it genuinely it is a shame. But yeah, I think that's why change is feared. It's the unpredictable nature. It's the dark areas. For change not to be feared, you first need to make sure that all of the change is absolutely clear, all the differences are absolutely clear, and that anything that they might not be used to is completely highlighted, so they go, look, this is what you should understand, this is what you should expect. I think that answers both your questions, actually, James. Yeah, it does. So yeah, that's basically it. It's the dark areas. It is completely the dark areas of change that people don't like, and it's completely fair. It's absolutely fair. I think the reasons that I don't like maybe the safe choice in life, maybe I'm not a massive fan of corporate or business or anything like that. I'm not a huge fan of it. Is because I don't quite understand it, and I've painted a picture of it that's probably quite unfair. And I need to get to understand more of it, so I'm not so scared of the idea that one day it'll be a reality for me. And that's the thing, I can apply it to myself as well. It just does work that way, and it works very nicely. But James, I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much for asking the question. I guess I will see you again next week. Thanks very much, buddy. And to everyone else, thank you very much for asking questions. Keep posting questions, guys. Always ask me something, because I like to be challenged. This isn't about me being right. It's certainly about me maybe trying, giving it a go, maybe putting my opinion forward. But it's also there for you guys to challenge anything that I might say. I like a challenge. I like my thoughts to be challenged, because when my thoughts are challenged, it means that I can grow in some way. I can actually learn, and that's the purpose, is for everyone to learn something. So come on, guys, let's see if you can disagree with me on something. or just call me out. Just call me out on anything. I would love it. But yes, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe, comment, click the thumb button, share with a friend if you like, and I will see you all tomorrow in another episode of I Play Games and Film It, and indeed next week for another IPGAFI Summarizes, and indeed another Words of Wisdom. You have a wonderful week, and Happy Easter! Happy Easter to everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Words of Wisdom.